The Tennessee Titans have a need at wide receiver, and with newly appointed head coach Brian Callahan, my eyes are set squarely on Tee Higgins. Bring him home to Tennessee. Hey, how we doing, everybody? Titan Uprising here. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for all the new subscribers. My goal is to still get to 500 subscribers and as quick as possible. If you can make that happen, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It really helps out. Please like, share, comment. I comment back on everything. Love the feedback, whether it's good or bad. Now, let's dive into it. It's the off season. I will be making videos like this going forward. I'll be doing some mock drafts, free agency. This is an exciting time to be a fan, especially of the Tennessee Titans with a new head coach, new regime, if you want to say. I know Ran Carthon has been the GM for 2 years now. This is his second season, but now with Mike Vrabel gone and a new head coach in Callahan, we're going to start to see what the Titans are going to be like going forward, which I think is going to be very different than what we've been used to seeing out on the field, and even different with how we draft. But this is squarely on Tee Higgins. I want this guy in two-tone blue. Let's get into it. Now, Tee Higgins, he's young still, okay? He's 25 years old. He's entering his prime, and he's already been a hell of a wide receiver already. And he's a true number one wide receiver. Now, he's 6'4", 219 pounds, and he's been in the NFL for 4 years since being drafted out of Clemson. He has played in 58 games, amassed 257 catches on 407 targets for 3,684 yards to go with 24 touchdowns. Of those 257 catches, 184 of them were for first downs. And he averages 14.3 yards per reception. Now, that's a good yards per reception average right there. And obviously he's getting first downs with the catches. This is a wide receiver one, guys. Those are wide receiver one types of stats. He's eclipsed 1,000 yard receiving twice in his 4-year career. And one could argue that he probably would have hit it again this year if it were not for injuries this year. He broke a rib against the Titans, and that caused him to miss the next game. And then he missed 3 games due to a hamstring injury. He was also posting his best receiving average of his career this year with 15.6 yards per reception. He also had his career-long reception of 80 yards. So granted, Joe Burrow was hurt out, but he was still putting up numbers with the backup. Obviously that part of it's due to coaching, which is one of the reasons we have Callahan on the team now. So he has been relatively healthy during his NFL career, and I don't really see injuries being persistent with him at all. Just a fluky thing this year. Broken ribs are definitely a fluky thing. That's not a thing that happens to guys multiple times in their career. Shouldn't anyways. Guys like this don't hit free agency often. And there's a chance he might not, okay? There's a chance he might not. But let me tell you why he might hit free agency. And if he does, why he will go to Tennessee. New head coach Brian Callahan is the ex-offensive coordinator for the Bengals, and Higgins has spent his entire career with him. There's familiarity there. He knows what type of offense Callahan will want to run, what he likes, and he will know what to expect. Familiarity again. Higgins will also have the chance to be the number one guy. Granted, the Titans have, DeAndre Hopkins here, but he's only under contract for 1 more season, and he's going to be 32 when the season starts this year. He will also get the chance to learn from someone like Hopkins, who's a future Hall of Famer. Now, then he can truly take on the number one wide receiver role next year. Learn from a Hall of Fame wide receiver, still be like a 1A, 1B this year, and then take on the number one role next year. Nothing wrong with that. And Tennessee also has a young quarterback in Will Levis, who looks like he could be the next franchise quarterback. And Levis happens to have a howitzer of an arm, which goes well with Tee Higgins and his big playmaking ability. Tennessee also has a lot of cap room, and they can offer Higgins what he wants. One of the biggest things here is that Higgins' hometown, by the way, is Oak Ridge, Tennessee. He will have a familiar coach, a familiar state with his home state, chance to be the number one guy while learning from a Hall of Fame wide receiver this year in Hopkins, and get paid handsomely to do it. Those are 4 big perks, if you ask me. The writing's on the wall, guys. He's a Tennessee Titan. Not so fast, right? Not so fast. But, hey, the writing's there for him. It really is. Now, let's just say the Bengals keep him, okay? They re-sign him. That obviously keeps him in Cincinnati. But if they franchise tag him, they might look to franchise tag him and then trade him. And if that were to happen, I would definitely give up a second-round pick for Tee Higgins if we could get him for that, because his value is projected to be a first-round pick. But if you franchise him and piss him off, there's a chance you might be able to get him for a second-round pick. And I'll take that all day, every day. Now, remember, though, the Bengals also have Tyler Boyd as a free agent this year. And granted, he's, I think, 29 years old. Maybe they re-signed him as a cheaper option over Higgins. He was the number one receiver there at one point, Boyd was. Bengals been drafting good receivers for the past few years, so it's not like they've had a plethora. Now, why would they even consider that, guys? Why would they sign Tyler Boyd for a cheaper option? Why not just sign Higgins, right? That's stupid. Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why right now. Because they have Jamar Chase. And he's in the final year of his rookie contract. And while it's expected the Bengals will exercise his 5th-year deal this year, he's eligible for an extension this offseason. I can't picture the Bengals paying 2 wide receivers top money while having Joe Burrow also make top money. That's just a lot of money in 3 players. I can't picture it. I can't see it. Chase is going to want to be paid like a top 3 wide receiver in the league, and rightfully so, he should. The Bengals will not let Chase go, okay? That he's not going anywhere. This is obviously, if you can read between the lines a little bit, this is the perfect storm brewing for someone like the Bengals to let a stud wide receiver hit the free agency market due to an even better one being on their roster that they must re-sign. Remember, Chase is Burrow's boy from college. They both played at LSU. Chase isn't going anywhere. Burrow's not going anywhere. If anybody's going to go somewhere, it's going to be Higgins. And remember, he does not want to be franchise tagged. If they franchise tag him and they piss him off, they're going to be looking to trade him probably. And they're going to want a first-round pick here, obviously. Is he worth our pick, 7th overall? I say so. You know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with a rookie. You really don't. But you're also going to be giving up a first-round pick and doing a lot of cap. Signing him for a big extension as well. But we know if Callahan's that confident in him, I am too. And we know what Higgins can be. Now, like I said, they must re-sign Chase. So this is a win for the Tennessee Titans, as I would say we'd be the front runners, obviously, to sign him if he hit free agency. Too much of it makes sense for him not to end up in Tennessee and not end up in two-tone blue and give Levis a weapon for the next 5 years. Now, if this happens, okay, and we get him in free agency. Imagine this, guys. Imagine this. We get Higgins in free agency. We have Higgins, Hopkins as wide receivers. Maybe we take Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia, who's projected to be the most talented tight end to ever enter the draft. We take him. Oh my God. And then you got Chig, Josh Wiley. I mean, we're loaded. And then if by chance we can maximize and get something out of Treylon Burks, he stays healthy this year. Hopefully this little mini football helmet I have, signed of his, ends up being worth something someday. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Hey, we're fans. We take a gamble on something. I wanted to buy it. I had faith in him. I still do. It's been hurt. But hey, if he ends up doing something good and turning his career around with a new head coach and an offense that will be better than what we put out the past few years, this offense can click. And then you have Tyjae Spears catching the ball in the backfield as well with a rookie that will be a second-year player now, Will Levis. Man, this is what the offseason is all about. kind of fantasizing about some of these things that could happen. And I could see Higgins coming to Tennessee. I really could. Now, like I said earlier, there's always a chance that, they don't let him out. They sign him. Now, maybe they sign him and then they sign Chase as well. And then you have Burrow under contract already. Like I said, you have 3 guys tied up to a lot of cap room right there, a lot of cap money. That could set a franchise back. If they front load it or some of it, whatever they can. The Bengals have cap room too, but those cap numbers are going to go up over the next few years when you have guys like Burrow, Chase, and then if you sign Higgins. They have to think down the road here and what their cap's going to look like, okay? They have to. But maybe they don't, and they sign them, and we don't get them. But I think something's going to happen. Maybe we get Tyler Boyd. I'd be okay with that. We need a wide receiver. There's no doubt about it. Would I love for it to be Higgins? Hell yeah. My 2 best case scenarios on this. The best case, obviously, he's a free agent. He comes to Tennessee. Second best scenario, you franchise tag him, you piss him off, you can't get a first-round pick, and then I would gladly trade a second-round pick for Tee Higgins. And then that gives us our first-round pick still to either draft an offensive lineman or even just go full-board offensive weapons and draft Bowers. I'm starting to become more and more of a let's draft Bowers guy. I really am. Tight ends are weapons in the NFL. You're seeing it more and more. Look at Laporta with the Lions. Look at Kelsey with the Chiefs. Look at Kittle with the Niners. You got the Super Bowl teams right now, both having stud tight ends. So, arguably 2 of the best 3-4 tight ends in the NFL, with Kelsey being the best tight end in the league. Probably could be even in NFL history. I don't know. That's a debate for another day. But hey, I'd be okay drafting a tight end, and getting a guy like Higgins opens up the possibility to even go. When you take a need away, you can go another route, go tight end, and Bowers can block and be a tight end. So it's like having a good lineman out there too. When you put someone like Chig out there, he's not going to block. He's going out there to catch a pass. Stuff like that matters. I want Tee Higgins in two-tone blue. I'm ready for it. I'm anxious. I'm ready for the offseason to start. Let's go, boys. And as always, tighten up.